Before I go any further, I just want to say this and get this out of the way. I haven't had anything to talk about gaming-wise in a few weeks, and the only thing I've been doing is uploading these playthrough videos of Last of Us Part 2, and I'm kind of ready to get back into the swing of things. I'm bored of uploading those. I was going to do a game review of the Last of Us game, but I'm, again, kind of don't want to do that right now. I could have talked about the latest episode with the TV show, but I'm just tired of talking about Last of Us. I feel like that's all I've been doing is uploading Last of Us videos. So I ended up just choosing this. I apologize if this is a little random, but I did need something else. Then I just uploaded one. That's the last commentary video I did, was the Chopped of Us. So I ended up choosing Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was an amazing movie, and I did go see it night of release. I would say it's not the best Marvel movie that's come out in the most recent years, but it's definitely up there because, again, there's not much competition seeing that the Marvels got released. I don't regret going to see it in movie theater, and spoiler warning before I go any further, because I'm definitely going to spoil all this shit, so go watch it before I spoil you. This, for a Marvel movie, does not have a whole lot of action in it. I'm not saying that the action scenes aren't there, and if they are there, they're not bad. It just lacks them entirely, and pretty much the fight between all of the soon-to-be Marvels in the very beginning is the most action the movie has. The most upsetting part of this to me as well is the fact that Taskmaster gets cooked in this fight immediately. The entire time I've been talking about this movie before it released, it's been me going, oh my god, they're going to finally utilize such a cool character. And then they just shot her like a dog. Like, shot her like Old Yeller, just right in front of my face. That really bothers me because, seriously, Taskmaster is such a cool character from the comics, and you just, fucking Kevin Feige, you waste it every time. Every time. Wasted it in Black Widow, then you wasted it in this. It especially hit hard, too, because they edited her into the scenes of the trailers, and she's not actually in those scenes in the actual movie, and it's diabolical as hell to me. Why do companies do that? Just like Last of Us Part 2 did with Joel, if you remember that, but I'm not going to talk about Last of Us. Anyways, you also get to meet the OG of the mental health crisis that we're in right now, Bob. Also known as Sentry, also known as Robert, also known as my favorite mentally ill person in this whole movie. I love this character off the rip. I've never seen any of the comics, honestly, but from what I've seen on the internet, he seems pretty comic book accurate. Apparently, the entire idea of him when they created him was pretty much to be this Superman without the perfect morals, and he does exactly that. He's definitely got some shit knocked loose in his noggin, because it doesn't take a lot of time to see that. Acting is phenomenal with this character. He's very awkward, he's very to himself, he kind of has these little mannerisms that just, I don't know, like a hurt puppy. I think Lewis, whatever his name is, killed it, and I really love seeing this character. And kind of the whole point of the Thunderbolts is to be this team of rejects, and off the rip, I kind of got the impression that he was going to be in the Thunderbolts from the rip. I was like, damn, they really don't have an enemy. And then everything changes. If you know anything about mental health, which all of you probably do, because everyone's pretty depressed, he's pretty easily manipulated, man. He immediately loses his friends just because he tries to protect them, shoots up in the air because he doesn't know how his damn powers work after getting shot about 95 million times, and then Val picks him up and is like, hey, it's okay, the sun's going down. And he just cuddles up to her like a little dog. And I feel like this whole movie feels like a whole lot of that. I feel like it's just Black Widow taming the Hulk over and over again, because that's the climax of the movie. When they enter the void and they start going through these memories of themselves, and finally they all get to where he is, I feel like all they're doing is trying to tame the void, just like Black Widow has to tame the Hulk. Kind of bothers me with the whole, not a whole lot of action, kind of a mental health movie. It felt like I was watching Beautiful Boy over again, where it's just, why is there 55 minutes left after he finally got clean? You know what I mean? Like, it's not bad, but it's just super confusing for a Marvel movie. It felt very empty on the action, but very full of the, I don't know, sadness? Some of the best scenes in this movie are actually in the void. Seeing Elena reliving through her luring someone in the woods and getting shot is super, super depressing, and it kind of beats this thing into your head where it's not just Sentry that lived a hard life and is the mentally ill one. It's kind of all of them, and that's why they work so well together. Walgreens Captain America lost his family due to him being an ass and being the most annoying person in the universe, which they actually show that. Yelena grew up in the Red Room, and they had to, I guess they had to kill children and shit like that and take uteruses for hostage. Captain Soviet was thrown in jail after working with whatever, and they kind of backstabbed him, and he never got to release his comeback album. And finally, Ava grew up in a lab away from everybody because she was dying a grueling death. It just kind of shows you that they're all broken, but if you put the broken pieces together, they all work as a team. And one of my favorite scenes in this movie was when they were trying to help everybody in the street from the void that just spawned because they just killed Bob, quote unquote. To me, it feels like they were more of showcasing the fact that they can all work together as a team and be good people, even though they're broken. Speaking of Johnny Walker, I love how they referenced him being a football player, and all I can remember is the actor Wyatt Russell being in, I think it was 21 Jump Street or 22 Jump Street or something, where he was a damn football player. I feel like that's what they're referencing, and I think that's hilarious. It's especially funny seeing that literally Channing Tatum is Gambit now, and then, you know, Wyatt Russell is John Walker. I feel like even though this movie can lack in some ways, it makes it up in other ways. But the whole premise of this movie, to me, feels like it's setting up for the next movie coming out. And not even Fantastic Four, because I feel like that's going to be the same thing this is, where it's setting up. It's getting you used to these characters and getting you to meet these characters and see how they work together and meeting them. And then the next movie, which is probably going to be Avengers Secret Wars or Avengers Doom or whatever the hell they're calling it, I feel like that's the movie they're setting up all this for. And the number one reason I think that is because the post-credit scene is exactly setting that. Comes to find out the asterisk in Thunderbolts is because they're not really the Thunderbolts. They're the new Avengers. If you don't know that already, then I'm sorry if I spoiled that to you. But yeah, watch the post-credit scenes when you watch a Marvel movie. And it kind of sets this thing up where Bucky and Wilson, also known as the Falcon, are probably going to butt heads because they're fighting over the Avengers name. Because really, the new Avengers aren't the new Avengers, and Avengers is copyrighted, and I don't know. I feel like the Falcon's being a little bit of a dick here. I think it'd be really cool if Avengers Doomsday starts off with these teams kind of fighting and butting heads and then having to come together and fight the worst evil. And I literally kind of predicted that in my video about talking about Doomsday. If you go back and watch that, as I was saying, there's going to be a bunch of little teams. It's going to be the teams of Black Panther and Wakanda, and then you're going to have the teams of like Namor and all those, and then you're going to have just like this group of groups fighting. I didn't predict them fighting. I was more of thinking, you know, they'd just work together and take out the bigger threat, but I guess they're probably going to be at butting heads and stuff, and that's what's going to cause them to lose to Doom. I hope Doom has something to do with the fact as why the Fantastic Four are going to be fleeing their world. I feel like that may have something to do with it as well. As you see in the post-credit scene, the Fantastic Four do shoot over into this universe because they say extra universal craft or whatever the hell they say. And this is really cool because I didn't really understand how the Fantastic Four was going to make it into their universe because they're technically in a different universe. They're in this like hyper futuristic version of the 60s, which is really confusing because you sit here and think, okay, well, how are they going to be in fucking Avengers Doomsday? I don't understand. But now this kind of showed me that they're just going to travel over there, I guess, in the damn Honda Civic. Obviously, I'm curious how it's going to go in the Fantastic Four movie, and I bet you they're going to explain why they do that. But, you know, it's good to at least get a little piece of it. This movie does have some cheesy comedy in it, but it's pretty funny. One of my favorite scenes in this movie was probably when they're actually in the limousine. They're chattering back and forth, yapping, and then he's like trying to help them because they're getting ambushed by some damn Humvees. He hits a button and immediately Pony by Genuine starts playing. All the shit starts going off. It's the P. Diddy Mobile, bro. I just don't think it should be classified as so much as an action movie as it should be classified a mental health movie, like a drama. Because, again, the climax of the movie is literally them pretty much pulling the whole calm down, calm down. Anyways, guys, I think I'm out of here. I think that's all I really need to say. It's a really good movie, and you should watch it. Let me know in the comments down below how you guys felt about the movie, if you liked it, and if you agree it's a 5-star movie like fucking Google says. I wouldn't go that far, but it is a pretty amazing movie. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.